Hello, I'm attorney Vince Davis. Today we are going to discuss the essential things you need to know about divorce in California. First, let's talk about residency. To file for divorce here, at least one spouse must have lived in California for the last 6 months. Additionally, you must have resided in the specific county where you are filing for at least 3 months prior to the petition. California law also imposes a mandatory 6-month waiting period before any divorce can be finalized, starting from the date of service. This is often called the cooling off period, allowing time for reconciliation or to settle complex issues like support and property. California is a no-fault state. This means you don't have to prove wrongdoing, like adultery, to end your marriage. The most common ground for divorce is simply irreconcilable differences, meaning the marriage has broken down beyond repair. One of the most significant parts of a California divorce is the division of your marital assets and debts. As a community property state, the law presumes that everything acquired during the marriage is owned equally by both spouses. This includes wages, real estate, retirement benefits, and even debts. Generally, it's all split 50-50. However, items you owned before the marriage or received as an individual gift or inheritance are typically separate property. It is critical to identify these separate assets early, as they are not subject to the 50-50 community split. Be careful with commingling funds. Mixing separate and community money can make it very difficult to protect your original assets. If one spouse keeps a larger asset, like the family home, they may owe the other an equalization payment to balance the scale. Retirement accounts are often the largest asset. Dividing them correctly requires a specific order called a QDRO. Both parties must provide a full disclosure of all assets. Hiding anything can lead to severe court-ordered penalties. When children are involved, custody becomes the most emotional and critical part of the entire process. California courts use the best interests of the child standard to make all decisions regarding custody and visitation. The law is gender neutral. There is no legal preference for mothers over fathers. The focus is entirely on the child's needs. Legal custody gives you the right to make major decisions about your child's education, health, and general welfare. Physical custody determines where the child will primarily live and who will provide for their day-to-day care. Judges look at factors like the child's safety, stability, and the nature of their relationship with each parent. If a child is of sufficient age and maturity, usually 12 or older, the court may consider their personal preference. It's always better for parents to reach an agreement together rather than letting a judge decide their family's future. Now let's look at spousal support, often called alimony. It is not automatic in California divorces. Temporary support may be awarded during the divorce process to maintain the financial status quo for both spouses. Permanent support is determined by 14 different factors, including the marital standard of living and earning capacity. For marriages lasting less than 10 years, support typically lasts for half the length of the actual marriage. For marriages of 10 years or more, the court may retain jurisdiction over support indefinitely, depending on the circumstances. The goal is to ensure both parties can transition to their new lives with a degree of financial stability. Identifying the exact date of separation is vital, as it marks the end of the community property period. Identifying the exact date of separation is vital, as it marks the end of the community property period. Identifying the exact date of separation is vital, as it marks the end of the community property period. Mediation is a private, voluntary process where a neutral third party helps you reach a settlement together. Litigation involves going to court and having a judge make the final decisions on your behalf. Mediation is usually faster and less expensive, while litigation can be a long, public, and costly process. However, litigation may be necessary in high conflict cases or when one party is not being transparent about finances. We understand that divorce is one of the most stressful experiences a person can go through. Having experienced legal counsel ensures your rights are protected and that no stone is left unturned. Proper preparation and full disclosure are the keys to a smoother transition into your next chapter. California divorce law has many nuances. It's important to stay informed and act with a clear strategy. If you are facing a divorce in California, don't go through it alone. We are here to help you navigate every step. Call us at 888-888-6582 to discuss your case and find out how we can protect your future and your family. I'm Attorney Vince Davis. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to assisting you.